Hi, this is Mrs. Fernandez, and I'm just going to talk to you about your contour line drawing for your symbolic self-portrait. So right now, I'm going to talk about mine and where I am right now. So say you're looking at your symbolic self-portrait, your contour line drawing, you feel like you're finished. If it looks similar to this, I want you to take a look and really think about it. So take a look at mine and take a second to try to figure out, do you really think this looks like a finished composition, or is it missing something? So when I look at this, I feel like there's too much negative space here. I kind of need to balance out what's there space-wise, because I have a lot going on the right side. I want something more on the left side. Also, I want to work on some of the details. So my numbers on the clock are not quite complete, and I have the eye inside of the flower, and I want to take the time to really work on this so that it looks like the eye is inside the flower and not kind of placed sort of half in, half out. So I want to work on the details more and maybe add a little more to this, get rid of some of my stray marks before I really start my final piece. And just like when you're working in school, if you have a sloppy copy, a rough draft, you could take this and put another piece of paper over it, and you could tape it up to a window and trace over it. Instead of using a light box, you can just place this against the window, tape over it. If your paper that you're using is thin enough, you'll be able to see through it. If it's very thick paper, you might have trouble, but if it's thinner, you could definitely do that. So you could have your rough draft and then a final copy that you've traced over. So now I'm going to go back and work on this a little bit more, and I'm going to show you what my final contour line drawing before I start shading looks like. Now you can see that I've done some more work to my drawing, and some of the negative space that was here before, I have put some objects in there and filled it in. So if you're looking at your drawing and there's a lot of blank space in one area or another, you're going to go back and you're going to look at your symbols and maybe pick something else or add the same thing in again. So I added another bird up here. I added more flowers. I continued the branch into this corner here. How did I get the drawing of the bird to look like that? How did I get the flower to look more realistic? I used reference photos. So go to the internet, look up the images, and get an idea of what they actually look like. You can change them a little bit to suit what you would like to do, but keep the key elements of the actual things that you're drawing. So that's part of using reference, is that you can change them a little bit, but they're there for you to get a more accurate drawing. So I can't wait to see what you're going to come up with for your contour line drawing, what it's going to look like. And remember, this is going to be the piece that you're working on for the next 4 classes after you complete this part. So think about what paper you'd like to put it on. And remember, you can always do your drawing and then try to transfer it onto another sheet of paper. So some ways you could do that, again, are taking a new sheet of paper, putting it on top and putting it up against the window like a light box. Or you could even take this paper and put pencil on the back, and some of you may have done this in elementary school, and then trace over it, just like we've used the graphite paper previously. You may have used that with me or somebody else in one of the other art classes to transfer an image. You can do that as well, because if you're working on a thicker surface and you want to transfer it onto that, maybe a piece of watercolor paper you have or something else, that's one way to do it. So I can't wait to see what you come up with.